You either use the internet for fun or you use the internet to grow. You're here to grow. Welcome to TRS Clips. How do you look at the world of romance between a man and a woman, or man, woman? How do you look at this?
Wow. Many different ways, actually. I think, sadly, these days, relationships have become very disposable, and people are not really treating each other humanely. We are people, we are supposed to be humans, but that sense of respect to another human. Because, see, when you get engaged with someone, romantic relationship, marriage, going out, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever you want to call it, you're basically attaching a hook into someone. I love you, and I also love you. Yeah? And it's caught deep within your flesh. It goes to your heart. And then, if you're not careful, if you keep tugging it too much, if you misbehave, and so on, it creates a lot of pain. But what happens these days, as soon as you find someone more attractive, you attach another hook to that person and you literally rip it off without even thinking about the consequences of your actions, what might happen to that person at a physical level, at an emotional level, which is worse. So that's what I see happening these days. But an ideal relationship, in my opinion, should be based first and foremost on the foundation of friendship. You should be good friends first. You should look beyond the physical appearance and the fashion, and you should look at the character of the person, not just the personality. Character hardly ever changes. Personality can change depending on age and so on, but the character remains the same. Character is what defines a person. So I always tell people to look at the character of the person. Does it match yours? Is he or she as outgoing as you are? Or is he or she, if you're spiritual and if your partner is constantly going out and after material, you will have a lot of clashes. She or he will not enjoy your presence, and vice versa. So if you're a very spiritually inclined person, look for someone with spiritual character. Yeah? And that can become a very good, but look at the foundation of friendship. Try to be good friends first. Yeah? Loving is easy, but liking someone, I think is a little bit difficult.
For that long.
Yeah, for that long.
For life.
Yeah, so if you do happen to have some turbulence in your relationship, you can fall back on friendship because the honeymoon period only lasts for so long. Yeah? Once it loses appeal, then you're kind of like, the things that you never noticed before might start noticing, and you will use it as an excuse. You never used to come so late. Used to call me honey all the time. Used to open the door for me. Used to pay my, this and that, whatever. So that, changes. At least you can fall back on friendship, I guess.
Cool. Why does God send you the wrong people?
What if?
Why does God send you
the wrong people?
The ones that you're not meant to be with. See. And then makes you love them a lot.
Yeah. Well, again, from a Buddhist perspective, we don't believe that God necessarily sends someone to you to make you suffer. We don't usually bring God or the idea of God or enlightenment into all these things. I notice that these days when something good happens, when something good happens in your life, when you achieve something, you say like, oh, this is because of my hard work, of my education, of my competence, it's all me. You take selfies and pictures and so on. And if something bad happens, you're like, God, why are you doing this to me? You understand? So I think it is a wrong thing to bring God into all these small things. These are very insignificant things. After all, we are not even specks in the grand scheme of things. We are even smaller than a drop of water in the grand scheme of things. We are so insignificant. I would say that it is because of your own past karma. You had sown a seed, maybe a good seed, maybe a beautiful flower, or maybe a cactus. You don't know. Maybe a healthy egg, or maybe a rotten egg. You don't know. So, and also as per karma, and also as per my belief and my experience, you sometimes only have the karma to be with someone for a certain duration. Once that is exhausted, you can try your best. You can do whatever you want. You just don't have that feeling anymore.
What's the purpose of that duration?
I think there's no ultimate purpose. It is a consequence of one of your past actions in your life, in your one of your past lives. Yeah. So maybe we misbehaved with that person and dumped that person after a certain amount of time. And now the cycle has, come full circle, and you're seeing the effects of your actions. And instead of breaking the cycle and accepting it and maybe just remaining friends or ending on good terms, our ego prevents us from doing that. Our level of attachment prevents us from doing that. We think it's love, but it's not. It's a sense of extreme possession. You just can't let go. Yeah. And you cause suffering to yourselves and to the other person, and you creating a new cycle again.
How do you eliminate that sense of attachment? Again, is it spiritual?
Can be. I think it should be based on realization. To realize that I have this theory when it comes to love and relationships. You should love without getting attached. I mean, as soon as the sense of attachment comes, it can very rapidly turn into possession and obsessive behavior, constant calling and reminding and arguing and so on. I think if you keep your love very free, very open, based on loyalty, trust, it can be very, it can be, you can feel very good in your relationship. But as soon as you get attached to that person, where are you? Yeah, it is 10 past. Who are you with? I think I heard someone. You're like so attached to that person. Not physically attached because she is somewhere else, but mentally and emotionally attached. You just can't think of anything else but that person. And if you send a message, WhatsApp, 1 tick, she hasn't seen my message. 2 ticks, blue tick, she hasn't responded back. You understand? You even get obsessed with the ticks and the tings and the blues, I don't know. That becomes very obsessive. And I think it's, starts to start spiraling down. When you love someone, I think you should trust that person. It should be based on giving and not focusing solely on receiving and receiving and receiving and receiving. It should be open and free.
Why does that happen to human minds? But where does that sense of attachment come from?
Habits from the past. In Buddhism we call it habitual tendencies. So you have this habit. You have built up this habit of getting attached to small things, not letting go of meaningless things like your torn shirt or your torn socks. You understand? So it keeps building up on that, and it carries into your relationship and beyond. So it's good to start practicing your non-attachment with things that don't mean that much to you, things that you can dispose of, and slowly start bringing into more meaningful things like your relationships and humans that you interact with.
I had a bad breakup about a few months ago.
Ji.
And then I met you on this show and we spoke about Om Mani Padme Hum.
Yeah.
And in the following week after our recording, I sat and did a few chanting sessions.
Ji.
And maybe after 20 minutes of chanting, I found forgiveness. Like forgiveness entered my head for that person. Yeah. I feel like that person broke up because of the influence of their friends.
Ji.
Who had not met me, but I just made assumptions because I'm a YouTuber. So I had a lot of anger towards those friends.
Okay.
I forgave them as well in that chanting session.
Ji.
And I felt more detached in a nice way. You told me that Om Mani Padme Hum is a transformative mantra.
Yes.
And it will give you the transformation that you need.
Yes.
Okay.
It is the mantra of Avalokiteshwar. It has so many different meanings. Union of compassion and wisdom. Om Mani Padme Hum. 6 syllables. It releases you from negative emotions such as attachment, anger, jealousy, ignorance, greed, selfishness, and so on. Also from hell, hungry ghost, animal kingdom, humans, asur, God. So it has so many significance, this mantra. But ultimately, I feel it expands your mind instead of feeling contracted and living within that small box, because everything suddenly seems so small, so shrunken, when your heart breaks or when you're going through a hardship. So it kind of breaks the locks of that small box, lets light in and just expands your mind. And then you find the space for forgiveness and to let go. It's transformative. You cannot explain how it happens, why it happens. It just happens. So it's good to keep repeatedly repeating a mantra that you feel connected to.
So if you enjoyed this video, subscribe to TRS Clips for more.